Spider-Man 3's title definitely needs some explaining. DC Fandom's schedule is stacked with surprises, and Xbox Series X just suffered a major setback. What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here with your second printing of the week's biggest issues at comicbook.com, and things finally feel like they might be going in exciting directions once again. Isn't it nice to read about productions restarting and movie theaters and comic shops reopening instead of delay, closed, canceled, and so on all the time? I know the world isn't back to normal and totally safe for us all just yet by any stretch, but the anxiety of it all, at least for me, is subsiding just a little bit with each day of good news. I hope it is for you too, and if it's not, feel free to let us know in the comments. I'll drop in, compliment you, and do my best to welcome you into BD's army with some positivity.
Can I get an amen?
First, the big story of the week was Spider-Man 3's title being revealed, and rumor has it the title is Spider-Man Homesick. Now, what I know is that the crew of this film is calling it Spider-Man Homesick while they are building sets in pre-production. I'm going to guess this is just some sort of mislead from the true title, which is hopefully Spider-Man Home Invasion. Homesick implies he's out of New York City again, and I'm ready to see Peter Parker at home, swinging from buildings like he was at the end of Far From Home. And with his identity revealed, villains can be hunting him, aka invading his home.
Oh,
Speaking of hunting, another rumor claimed Joel Kinnaman is the frontrunner for Kraven the Hunter in this one, but I'm not necessarily buying that just yet either, because if it's not Jeffrey Dean Morgan, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to watch the movie anyway, but I think he would be really good for the part. Speaking of Tom Holland projects, not only did the Russo brothers tease a look at Cherry, which should be getting a trailer any day now. I email Joe Russo once a week and ask him for it, so he knows we are hungry. I'm doing my best. But Netflix dropped the first reveal of The Devil All the Time, reminding us all that Hollywood thinks actors from the South don't exist, and putting Spider-Man and Batman together for a little murder thriller with a Southern drawl looks really exciting. Last thing on the Marvel front, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came to an end, and the debate on whether or not this series is MCU canon rages on, despite Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios literally never showing any interest in acknowledging its existence with their movies. The Quantum Realm came into play, and all of the S.H.I.E.L.D. fans swear it is canon to Avengers films, and they have their justifiable arguments. After it ended, executive producer Jeff Bell revealed they were going to use MODOK as a villain in Season 7, but then were suddenly told they couldn't, which probably means he's headed to the movies or upcoming Disney Plus shows from Marvel Studios. George Tarleton is the villain of the Avengers game, but that was already in development back when S.H.I.E.L.D. was working on Season 7. So this must be a Feige play, and I'm kind of thinking Ant-Man 3.
I need you to be the Ant-Man.
DC Fandom revealed its schedule, and it's just what we expected, really. A couple of big surprise titles will be announced on August 22nd, but Wonder Woman 1984 is definitely bringing a trailer, kicking it all off at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The Suicide Squad will also bring a trailer with its full cast on hand, and the Batman also promises a surprise or two. The entire future of DC films and TV are in attendance, but the comics part of it all is going to be very interesting. Earlier this week, AT&T cut a third of DC Comics editorial staff, which just isn't cool at all. They're trying to act like the heroes by releasing the Snyder Cut on HBO Max, but then they go and fire a bunch of people we love after they already recorded panels for DC Fandom. Well, first of all, they better re-record those, because I don't want to hear people talking about futures they didn't know they weren't going to be a part of at the time they were talking about it. But also, I seriously hope this is not the beginning of the end for a comics juggernaut. DC Comics paved the way for so many epic stories, heroes, creators, so much more. We all have different favorite memories and impacts on our lives by DC Comics, so it's sad to see these people getting their lives uprooted, and I hope we can support them in some way going forward.
You have my sword. And you have my bow.
and my axe.
I know we want to focus on the good news, but there is one more bad thing. I love Xbox, you know that I do, but this launch of Xbox Series X keeps getting less and less impressive. It might hold up in the long run, but Halo Infinite was the one launch title a lot of us were really looking forward to until we saw those terrible freeze frames, which really displayed how terrible the graphics are, and now the game is delayed to 2021. Overall, undoubtedly a good thing because they have a chance to fix it and we will all have a better experience playing Halo Infinite somewhere down the line, and honestly, at this point, what's one more delay this year?
Shut your magical hole. Why are you showing me this?
The New Mutants swears it is hitting theaters on August 28th, and I have plenty of reason to believe that's true. Disney is making moves to get it out, and you'll see New Mutants content on comicbook.com next week as a result. And you should also look out for some Wonder Woman 1984 info on Wednesday. I visited the set of that movie the same weekend I visited the set of Spider-Man Far From Home. One is already on Blu-ray and we don't talk about it anymore. The other one hasn't even hit theaters yet, so I'll share everything that I can remember at this point.
I want you to spill your guts. Tell us everything.
That's your second printing of the week's biggest issues at comicbook.com. I hope you all have a good weekend. Even you, Chris Killian, after I bought up ad space on the Daily Distraction. You know what I'm talking about. It was cheaper than a 15-cent ticket to AMC theaters. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Brandon Davis BD and head over to comicbook.com for more updates. I appreciate all of you. I'm BD, and I'll see you there.